Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the Kneejerk stream, as always, on a Sunday evening. Um, we've just seen Liverpool play Chelsea in the game. We'll talk about that. We'll also discuss this game week. I'm sure we'll deep dive into it. How you doing anyway, Jordan? How's your weekend gone so far?
Yeah, it's good so far. Football has been a bit funny. I mean, we expected it after the international break that results weren't going to be what we expected, but yeah, it's very shocking things happen. A lot to talk about, I think, especially with Haaland, big talking point.
Yeah, let's quickly go through the team. We're not going to take long, I don't think, on this part because there's not really much to discuss. So, Arsenal, let's start off with them. As my goalie, I've got Raya. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I'm doubled up on their defense, so that tells you I definitely didn't see this coming. 2-0 loss for Arsenal. Saliba gets the red card. I think 30 minutes played. So Arsenal going down to 10. It's sort of a tough uphill battle then for Arsenal when they go to 10 men playing an hour with 10. And yeah, Arsenal can see 2 goals, Christie, and then the penalty as well. Evan Nilsson, I think, scored it. So yeah, Raya blanks as well as Gabriel. So they get me a point each in the 2-0 loss. Lewis, again, Man City concede yet again. I think Man City have the same amount of clean sheets as Ipswich this season. I saw a stat. I don't know if that's someone have to check that. But yeah, Man City, some people say they were lucky today. Definitely got away with one. They could have easily, drew that or even lost. But yeah, Lewis comes away with a blank. And to be honest, with Lewis, I'm not really expecting much clean sheets with Man City. It is more the attacking returns. Vardiol goes and scores. It's obviously John Stones, so they are getting goals from defenders. It's just the wrong one for me and my team. Van de Ven comes away with a 1-pointer after Spurs conceded at first to, who was it again now? Well, West Ham, wasn't it? And they come back to win 4-1 in the end in that game. I will come on to Spurs, I'm sure, and Son, because the one I was deliberating over that game. Obviously, Son goes and scores when I was potentially looking at bringing him in for Saka. Did Son get the assist point, by the way? Because I've heard he's got the assist and then he got taken away. Are you aware if he got the assist point?
This is news to me. I'm surprised if he got it taken away from him but I will check that. I think he still has the assist point.
Yeah, he's got a goal and an assist. Because initially he wasn't given, I don't know if you know, he wasn't given the assist during the game. Then after when the bonus points was given, he got added the assist. And I've seen some people say now they might take it away. So Son ends up on a 12-pointer. So
he still has the assist.
Yeah. Mikalenko's come in for Son. So I miss out on 5 points really, because if I kept Son, I would have got a 5 more point gain, which would have probably given me a green. But it is one to sort of because I was looking at bringing Son in as a Saka replacement. A fair play to those ones that did it, because it's obviously worked out nicely if you've got Son in, and now Son's got the nice fixtures, and Arsenal have Liverpool next with Chelsea, and the way Chelsea played today, I don't think that's going to be tough. I think that could be a tough game for Arsenal. Mikalenko, bit of bench jam. Some might say I think I deserve it, because usually I never get these sort of luck when I get a sub player in. He gets me 7 points after Everton keep a clean sheet. Was it against Ipswich?
Yeah, against Ipswich.
2-0 win, wasn't it?
It was a 2-0 win.
2-0 win. Away win. So nice to see Mikalenko get that 7-pointer for me, because he sort of saved me. I've just realised, obviously, I've not looked at my team too much. It's not been a great week. Mikalenko and obviously Rodgers are the only returners in my team. 2 returns, which is, it's just been a shocking week. Moving on to midfield, again, not much to discuss. And Mbeumo blanked in the Man United game. His sort of streak comes to an end after he's been consistent returning. So it is what it is with Mbeumo. He's not going to score every week. Palmer, we've seen him play against Liverpool, blanked. Wasn't really, I thought Liverpool did well to defend against Palmer, if I'm being honest. I thought they kept him fairly minimal chances. He didn't have too much. I don't think he had one shot, I think in the first half, when he cut into his left and then curled it. It went high, had a free kick as well. But I thought Liverpool defended Palmer quite well. But overall, I did think Chelsea were quite good today, especially Madueke on that side. I thought he was good. But yeah, Palmer blanks. Rodgers did get a goal though, which was nice. Took a bit of a deflection, I think, on Rodgers' goal, but again, can't complain. Gets me the 6 points. Up front, blanks everywhere, really. Haaland, yet another blank. We'll have to have that discussion. I'm sure there will be people, frustrated with Haaland and Man City Haaland not scoring again. Is that now 3 games?
3
Yeah.
blanks.
3 blanks in a row for Haaland, which we don't usually expect after his very good start to the season. He's got Southampton next, and it's going to be interesting to see what people do, because obviously we know how Southampton have been this season. Are you going to stick the faith with Haaland, or are people going to, sort of swap to another player? But yeah, Haaland, unfortunately, he blanked for us owners. Solanke, I was very disappointed with. The only Spurs asset I've got in my team, the Spurs go and score sort of 4 goals, and Solanke's not involved in any. And I was frustrated that he was dropping too deep for my liking. I would have liked to see him further afield, getting more involved in the attacks, but it seemed like he was the one that was sort of giving the ball to the likes of Son and Brennan Johnson. So he's one to watch with Solanke going forward. If I keep him longer term, I want to see him more involved in the action, but he wasn't really in that regard. And Calvert-Lewin again missed a sitter in that game, should have scored. He only comes away with a blank after his in the 2-0 win against Ipswich. So yeah, all in all, it's not been a great week. Only 2 returns from Mikalenko and Rodgers. In the bench, again, nothing really. Obviously, Saka was an auto sub for Mikalenko. Semenyo got me 2 points after his win against Arsenal. But all in all, 23 points. There's still another game week to go. So there's not a match day to go. Obviously, Monday Night Football tomorrow, Forest playing. So if you've got Forest players, you still get more points. But that's me done for the week. 23 points, which is one of the lowest scoring weeks I've ever had. I think I can't remember me scoring less than that ever in an FPL game week. So unless you had Son and the likes of Salah, you probably are on a pretty big red arrow. I'll come on to you as well, Jordan, obviously your team, because I think you've been sort of saved. I think if Salah, with Salah, I'm assuming. I mean, what was your rank pre? It would be interesting to know what was it pre Salah haul and then after. Talk us through your team anyway, because you're obviously on a green.
Yes, and there is slight annoyance to that green, regardless of how the team has done in 11. But let's start off with the goalkeeper, Hermansen. Now, this was, I'll say, a bit of a shock, because it was at some point Southampton were winning 2-0 against Leicester, but the end result was 3-2 to Leicester. So Southampton managed to lose a 2-0 win, and obviously Leicester got the win at 3-2. Hermansen did manage to get 3 points, though, surprisingly, from that game. He did make at least 6 saves, which gave me the extra 2 points, even though he conceded at least 2 against him. So that's what I like Hermansen for. I mean, even though the fixtures are quite good, maybe not a clean sheet in there, Hermansen does provide a lot of saves, and I think so far I'm quite happy with the results. And those 3 points are very important in terms of this game week. Moving on to the back three, obviously I won't go into too much because no defender kept a clean sheet for me, because we spoke about Liverpool in that 2-1 win. I mean, Robertson did start this game. I was quite hoping he didn't, as for reasons as you can see at the bottom, but he did get 2 points. No clean sheet for him. Fies, spoken about him because obviously Hermansen double Leicester defense. Big mistake, massively big mistake. I should have thought about this more, because I already had Hermansen as cover for that Southampton game, and I played Fies as well, so he only got me 1 point. Obviously, he conceded 2 goals, so there's a point taken off. So no clean sheet for him. Gabriel, again, that was a shocking result, but considering the red card, partly to blame, obviously, Trossard for passing it to Saliba, putting him in that situation, which got him the red card. And yeah, Arsenal were down to 10 men. They ended up losing that game 2-0. Big change to the title race for that end result. Moving on to the midfield, again, quite, say, decent amount of returns. I mean, Palmer, we've spoken about, 2 points from him. I think, yeah, as Huss said, Liverpool kept him at bay really well, and it was expected that Palmer wasn't going to have like a double haul during that game, as it was a very tough fixture to have, especially at Anfield. Moving on to Rodgers, I was quite happy to see when I saw the score for Aston Villa, the 1-0, and then Rodgers' name pop up underneath. I filled it with quite delight. That's another return for him. And I think keeping the faith with him has been the best thing about this game week, because there's game weeks where I could have potentially got rid of him for the constant blanks he had. But I think the returns now are coming for him. He's found his confidence. He did get a yellow card, though, even though he scored, but 6 points is still a nice reward from him. Brennan Johnson is the next player I brought into my team for this game week. Now, I am surprised, considering the score of 4-1, that Brennan Johnson wasn't a part of the action. Because there were chances where he could have potentially scored, but there were some misplaced shots from him. And obviously shots on target weren't quite with him in that game. But I have liked the looks of him despite his blank. And I'm quite excited to see what he can do in his next fixture, now that Spurs fixtures are now becoming more easier for them. And finally, moving on to the player, I think, of the week who was massively transferred out. I think he was the 5th most transferred out player, and that is Mo Salah. And he got a 12-pointer for the goal and the assist and the bonus 2 points, I believe. Hopefully, that does stand as a bonus point, because we have seen it change later down the line. But yeah, I'm quite happy with Salah in that game. It was a tough fixture, but I'm glad to have held on to him, because he has made me obviously turn my red arrow to a green. Because initially, in terms of my rank, my old rank was 4.6 million. It's currently 4.2 million now. So that 400k gain was from Salah initially, just from that goal and assist and the bonus points, because a lot of people did get rid of him, and no one really has him around my rank. So yeah, big result, and yeah, quite happy with that end result. And finally, moving on to the last player, that is Mick Neal, who I brought in 2 game weeks ago, and he did get an assist and a clean sheet point, which is quite a good result. It didn't score, but I'm happy with the attack and returns and the assists from him, considering his ownership isn't that high, only just above 10%, and a great differential, almost at 5.7 million. So yeah, nice returns in the midfield. Moving on to the front 2. Now, guys, I do apologise again, because obviously me captaining Haaland seems to have made him cursed, because he's yet again blanked again.
You've cursed. You've broken Haaland since you've got him in, since he's literally not scored.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But you did mention us. Wolves were a bogey team for Man City.
Yeah, Wolves have a good record.
Yeah, they almost did it again by almost getting a draw for them. Honestly, I thought that game is a draw. I don't honestly think Man City won that game, but I'll go with the result of the referee's decision on that. But yeah, they won 2-1. Haaland, I think Haaland was more frustrated than we are with him blanking the next 3, because in that game, there was literally zero involvement from him, and even towards his teammates. It didn't seem like he was involved in the play. His team was playing around him. And even when Man City had a free kick and Haaland offered himself to take it because of how the game was going, he was instantly denied an opportunity to take a free kick from his teammates. And I think, well, interesting how the relationship is with his teammates. But yeah, only 4 points for the captaincy of Haaland. And finally, Chris Wood, my only player left in this game week, plays tomorrow in the Monday Night Football fixture against Crystal Palace at home. So we'll have to wait and see what he does. Now, moving on to the bench, because this is what haunts me. Seeing with 13 points on that bench. And
yeah,
this is what I was talking about. Yeah.
I realized you had Keane on the bench, you know. I was going to actually mention should you consider maybe playing Keane ahead of Fice on the deadline stream, but I forgot to even mention it.
Yeah, I don't understand why I chose to put Fapais in there, because I had Hermanson as cover for that fixture. I don't know what was going through my mind to do that, even though I didn't expect a clean sheet from the Everton game. But yeah, 13 points. Obviously, Keane scored the goal. He got a clean sheet. He also got a yellow card, though, but he got a bonus 2 points as well to have a nice double win. I did mention, guys, these cheap 4 million defenders do pay off when the fixtures are nice, and that's just a prime example. Fortunately, I was unable to equalise on that because he's on my bench and it's worthless. The rest of the bench, obviously, no points whatsoever, apart from Robertson with 1 point in the Aston Villa game. But yeah, it's been obviously a good game week, despite it being a low one again. And obviously, 39 points Green Arrow, 4.2 million, up 400k. So I'm quite happy with it. And Chris Wood to play. So I know for sure it's going to be end of the week. It's going to be a Green Arrow for me.
Okay. Let us know how you guys are doing in the chat as well, please. Let's take a few comments and we'll also bring up our teams for Game Week 9. Manish has Haaland blank again. Humble curse. 50 million down the drain. Haaland blanks again. Clean sheets are impossible this season. Keen on the bench. Hey guys, Haaland blanked again. He's done nothing for me but get 2 points for 3 game weeks. And I benched 21 points with Kepa, Pinnock, Kirkhead, and Semenyo, but still managed 53 points. Says Dan the Man. Well, you could have bench boosted. That's a really nice bench boost. But yeah, 53 points is still really good in this week. I think not many people would get 53 this week. Orange Apple, about the 4th painful game week in a row, 19 points with Wood to go. Nothing is going my way at the moment, and now got Foden issue with Pep wanting to continue to play his worst players. Yeah, Foden was interesting because I didn't see that coming where he was benched, especially the way Man City have been playing recently. You thought maybe they'll start Foden now with the KDB out as well, but Foden even started on the bench. So if you've bought Foden in, it is a bit of a tricky one now. Do you keep him? I mean, you have to probably keep him now and hope he starts.
Yeah, that's the issue with midfielders in Man City. It's whether who Pep chooses to play in that midfield could be any variation, but it is a surprise though.
Yeah. Also, let's pull up our teams. I'll go first. Just bear with me. This is what my bus team currently looks like. So, in goal, again, I've got Raya, who for one moment yesterday, I thought he's getting a red card here, but then I realized he can't get a red card because of the double jeopardy rule. But I thought, okay, wow, I've got a goalie for game week 9 as well. But obviously, he gave away the penalty, which is, I thought he had a pretty poor game against Bournemouth. But Liverpool next is at home for Arsenal. They need to bounce back after their loss. I don't really see a clean sheet here for Raya, to be fair. Got back three of Gabriel, Lewis, and Van der Ven as of now. Midfield 4, I've got Mbeumo, I've got Saka, who's flagged, who's got Liverpool. I've got Palmer against Newcastle, and I've got Rodgers against Bournemouth. Up front, I've got Haaland against Southampton at home. I've got Solanke, Palace away, and then I've got Calvert-Lewin against Fulham at home. And I've also got 2 free transfers, as you guys know. I did roll the transfer in game week 8. And yeah, I don't really know where to go with my moves yet. I've not really thought about it. I think Saka's the one. If he's still injured, then obviously I'll have to take him out. If he's fit, do I keep him against Liverpool? It's a tough game. There's one conversation in there, what to do with Saka. Solanke's been frustrating. I think I'll have to give him a chance against Palace, but I'm not happy that, with Son there now, is Son and Brennan Johnson going to get more of the chances, which is the only issue I have with Son being back. Calvert-Lewin, I think I'll give him one more week in my team against Fulham at home. If Calvert-Lewin doesn't score or doesn't look good, he could go, I think, soon as well. If you look at his expected goal involvement against Ipswich, 1.32. How he didn't score that game, I don't know, but he's got the fixtures, so I'm going to keep the faith, see how he does against Fulham. But he's one that could go as well in the coming weeks.
I think you can still keep your faith, even if he does blank against Fulham. He has Southampton next after that, and that goal involvement, it's hard to go against.
He missed I don't know if you saw it, but the chance he missed.
Yeah,
he should have scored. But yeah, that's the team, guys. In terms of bench, I've got Mikalenko, I've got Greaves, Semenyo there. I didn't realize Greaves is red flagged. I know he wasn't involved this week, so I'm not sure what that was down to. We should have a look. Expected back 24th of November. So hamstring, he's out for a while, it seems. Again, I only bought him in because I'm not going to play him most weeks anyway, so I'll just keep him until he's back, which is, you're looking at game week 12 before he's back. So he misses at least 3 games, which I'm not too fussed about. I wasn't really going to play him in these games anyway. I just got to hope I don't get any more injuries on my bench, because I've got Mikalenko that I can play. He's got some decent fixtures. Everton have just kept back-to-back clean sheets against Newcastle and Ipswich. So maybe playing some Everton defenders in these games could pay off. And I've got Mikalenko there. Van der Ven again as well. Do I play him? He's got Palace. Do I play Mikalenko, who's just kept a clean sheet? Or do I bring in the transfer I was looking at doing, which was the Wolves defender, Nuri, which I was thinking about, bringing into the team.
We should not be tempted at benching Gabriel. I know it's a big one to bench, but he has got Liverpool at home. And
well, this is just a boss team. I've not actually considered. I've not really looked at it. This is my first time actually looking at the boss teams and who I'm going to play. I could bench Gabriel against Liverpool. The only issue is he'll probably go score a header on a set piece, because I do think Arsenal's threat from set pieces is high. If they're likely to score, I think he could actually be from a set piece. So that's one reason why I don't want to bench him. But he is double Arsenal defense, which I'm not really keen on playing against Liverpool when I expect Liverpool to get a goal at least. But yeah, 2 free transfers. I think Saka's the one I'm looking at. If he's not fit, which again, I think he will be fit. I don't know how serious it is. It's just a hamstring, so should be fine.
If he isn't, who would you bring in? Son?
Yeah, I like Son. I do like Son. I was going to go there. So yeah, Son I think would be the one with his fixtures coming up. I think with Saka, we'll see in the Champions League, because Arsenal do play, I think, on Tuesday against Shakhtar. So if he's on the bench, then we know he's going to play against Liverpool. But even then, you look at Arsenal's fixtures, the next 3 are tough on paper. Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, and then Chelsea away. And Newcastle haven't sort of been great, but when they've played the bigger teams like Man City, they did look good. And I think another game where they'll be up for it, 12:30 kickoff as well, going to the St. James Park, and then Chelsea away isn't going to be easy. We saw today how Chelsea performed against Liverpool. I thought they did look good in moments. They had some chances as well. And I mean, for me, Chelsea are going to finish top 4. I think now, after watching them, I think I have Chelsea as to finish top 4. So I think that Chelsea are either tough game now. Yeah, you were going to say.
Yeah, because now they've found the form, Chelsea. They've got the players to back it. Like, even if they have like an injury in their position, they've got so many players that can cover that position now. That they've
got a massive squad as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be working out now, having this massive squad. Now that they've found the form to work around the individual players in it. Yeah,
we'll see. They obviously are still a work in progress with the new manager, but again, you're looking at going back to Arsenal. The next 3 look quite tough on paper. I mean, what would you do if you're me right now with Saka? Let's say he's fit and he's going to start against Liverpool. Would you sell him still?
Yeah, I'll still sell him. Easy choice. Yeah, I'll still sell him for a player that has better fixtures, because even though that red card in that Bournemouth game, even without that red card, I still think Arsenal would struggle in that game without.
They were struggling, to be fair, even when they had 11-11. Obviously, Saka wasn't there, which makes a big difference to Arsenal attacking team, because he's probably their best attacker.
Yeah, and it was a bit unfortunate for the red card, because obviously Sterling has been unfortunate not to play minutes, because every time something's happened, Sterling has come off. So we didn't see much of his involvement in Saka's position. But yeah, I still am adamant of even taking out Gabriel or a Saka.
Selling them, or
just selling them, because the next 3 I don't see clean sheets. They're going to miss Saliba as well for at least 1 game.
Yeah, Saliba's missing the Liverpool game.
And for me, it's either Saka or Gabriel to be gone. I think Saka more.
Yeah. I'll think about it. You know what I do. I'm not sure yet, if I'm being completely honest. I've not really. Yeah, I'm not sure where to go with the team, because there's quite a few things I want to sort out. I think Saka's one I have to sort. With Gabriel, I think I might just get away with it. Like, just bench him some weeks. I could play Mikalenko, just bench him if I really want to. I could play Semenyo, Villa away, which I probably won't do. But the rest of the team I'm quite happy with. I think Lewis against Southampton, I'm going to have to play him. Surely a clean sheet for Man City, but obviously with their defensive record this season, you never know. Van der Ven, Palace away. I could sell Greaves even. I can sell Greaves and go up to an 8 Nuri if I can afford it. I'm not sure, but I do want to try bringing 8 Nuri in soon. But yeah, that's the team, guys. Let us know what you do with this team. If you were me, 2 free transfers, and if you have a look how much in the bank. I've got 0.1 in the bank, so I can't actually do Greaves to 8 Nuri. I can do Mikalenko to 8 Nuri. I can do Van der Ven to 8 Nuri, which might be the play, actually, I think. What do you make of Tottenham? He conceded 1 against West Ham, but then they came back pretty quickly, scored 4 goals in quick succession. Obviously, West Ham were very poor defensively. their fixtures are decent. What do you see in terms of clean sheets? Do you see a lot, or do you think they're not worth it in terms of getting them for clean sheets?
No, I don't think it's worth it for Spurs clean sheets because they're similar to Man City. They're just letting goals. They obviously play high line. That's the issue. When teams play that high line, they're more vulnerable at the back, especially when players make mistakes or obviously they try and break through on the counter attack the other team. So yeah, it's a risky business, the high line for teams, and that causes clean sheets to be wiped. And Spurs can't really manage the obviously tracking back, covering the goal, and then obviously conceding the goal from that issue. But yeah, for me,
I think I'll play him. I think I probably will play Van der Ven v Palace. If I do sell him, if I sell Van der Ven, then I'm bringing in Aït-Nouri, the one I was looking at doing, and not just for this game week. I like his fixture. You see, long term. And Wolves, to be fair to them, defended well today. I thought they were. I mean, they've lost every game bar one. They've been unlucky. I think today they played well, even against Liverpool. I thought they weren't that bad. I think they have been unlucky. You look at their fixtures as well. They have had an absolute horrible fixture run. You look at they've played 8 games. Just look at the teams they've played: Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool, Man City in their first 8 games. So they've had tough games. Now you look at it, it's turned.
Yeah.
And they've got the nice fixture. So Aït-Nouri is someone I'm definitely thinking of bringing in, regardless of their team's form, because I think he has the attacking threat, and I think a lot of people will probably look at him as a cheap defender, and I like the fixture. So he's one that if I take Van der Ven out, I could do Aït-Nouri in. Don't need to do it. It's not a necessary transfer I have to make, but obviously I am watching the price increase on him. If I sell Van der Ven, it wouldn't matter anyway because I'll have the budget to do it. And then if I was to sell Saka, do I go Son? I'm not fond of having double Spurs attack, if I'm being honest, because I just think, I mean, to be fair to Spurs, they are scoring goals. They've scored what?
4.
About 10 goals. Well, 9 goals, sorry. Yeah, 9-10 goals in their last 3 games. Sorry, 4 against West Ham, wasn't it? 3 against Brighton, and then 3 against United. And they also scored 3 against Brentford. So they do score goals. The way they play, I think you want to have a Spurs attacker in your team. It's just having the right one. And I think the right one might actually be Son. Obviously, it was unlucky that he was been injured. But his price, 9.8 million, 5.5% owned. That's going to shoot up. Look at the fixtures. Next 3 look nice. Palace, Villa. Villa is a home fixture. Ipswich is always at home. And Ipswich at home for Son could be really nice, even as a potential captaincy pick. I don't know who Haaland plays in 11. But yeah, I do like Son as a pick. But if I had Son, what do you make of Solanke? The fact that he seemed to be a lot deeper in the last game.
That's what I was about to mention, because I mentioned to you before while the game was going on, Solanke plays really obviously deep, and he's more of a provider of the balls to the wing attackers like Son or Brennan Johnson or whoever's in that position, rather than take it on himself.
I think he did miss that one sitter though. He had that one chance where he should have shot and scored.
Yeah, he did have that one chance where he could have tapped it left or right, but he instead shot right at the goalkeeper. But apart from that opportunity, I didn't really see much in terms of a shot or attack involvement from Solanke. He was more providing it to the other players in the Spurs team.
Yeah, his expected goal involvement had been pretty low in the last 2 games. But before that, obviously against Man United, Brentford, he's getting a lot of chances. One to watch with Solanke. If he doesn't look like if he looks like he's more facilitating for Son, then Son's probably the one you want to have. Obviously coming off again, we know what a good player Son is in terms of finishing. Lovely goal for Son on his left foot. Could have had a hat trick if we're being honest. Hit the post, had another shot, he curled it and he just went over the crossbar. Could have been a hat trick on another day. And he has that potential in him, Son. He has that whole potential in these games, I think. So he's one that I like because he's a differential as well. I think he's going to be the most transferred player in this week going into Game Week 9.
Absolutely. I think the most transferred out player would potentially be Saka, especially if his flag still remains there, even though he might be fit for that game against Arsenal playing against Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's still a tough fixture. So a lot of people will be selling Saka this week. He will be the most transferred out player, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Let's bring up your team. Just run through your boss team quickly and then transfer. How many do you have? What is it? 1 free transfer, right?
Yeah, it is the 1 free transfer. Starting off in goal, we've got Hermanson, who's got Nottingham Forest at home. tough one, I think, for Leicester, but interesting. Back three got Robertson's got Arsenal away, Keane's got Fulham at home, and Gabriel's got Liverpool at home. So Robertson and Gabriel playing against each other, which isn't ideal, but we'll have to see. Midfield five got Palmer's got Newcastle at home, Rodgers, Bournemouth at home, Johnson's got Crystal Palace away, Salah, Arsenal away, and McNeil's got Fulham at home. And up front we've got Haaland's got Southampton at home, and Chris Wood has got Leicester away. And quickly on the bench, got Vardy, Marston's got Ipswich at home, Fi's got Nottingham Forest at home, Robinson's got Everton away, and Wheatley got West Ham away. In terms of captain, I'm sticking to my guns again, even though he's had 3 blanks in a row. Hard to ignore it when he's got Southampton at home after they've lost a 2-0 lead to Leicester.
Yeah.
So, sure, I think this is the last chance though, because after Southampton, when he plays against Bournemouth away, I might look for another captain if he does blank against Southampton somehow. It's very weird how Haaland is somehow blanking after he's had great form to teams where you expect him to score a goal or at least get something. So, yeah, this is the last chance for me captaining Haaland. And if it does backfire on me next game week, then so be it. But I need a captain that's going to return.
Yeah, I mean, before this game week, I did say to you on WhatsApp that I was looking at potentially triple captaining Haaland this game week because I said, let's see how Haaland does. If he does really well, I might triple captain him because I do want to get the chip out of the way. But the way Haaland played, didn't score again. I don't think I'll be doing that, but I still probably will captain Haaland. I don't see me going elsewhere. So yeah, Haaland's going to be the captain for Southampton, and then I'll consider it. If he doesn't score again, then we'll have a discussion game week after game week 9. In terms of transfer plans, are you going to roll at the moment, or are you thinking there's someone that you want to bring in, or what's the plans?
Plans potential. I'm thinking of rolling the transfer, but at the same time, I'm thinking of taking out Gabriel in defence for another, obviously, defender with a better fixture, because obviously the next 3 for Arsenal are not good, with Liverpool next, Newcastle, and Chelsea.
Yeah,
I don't see clean sheets there. Even if he gets an attack and return, which he hasn't had since Man City, I still think I can get away with that, even if he does get an attack and return from a header, which I don't think he'll get in the next 3, even though there is an opportune moment he could get it. I still think I have to see what Arsenal are like in the next 3, but he will be the target, I think, if I do a transfer.
Yeah, Michael here with a comment. Would you sell Saka knowing you're going to wildcard him back in 12? Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, if you're going to wildcard in 12, then yeah, I would sell Salah and go Son, I think. Evening boys, says SK. Evening mate. No Mbermo. I think that's directed at you, Jordan. Just blanked against your team. Brentford were quite disappointing, I thought, in the second half especially.
Yeah, surprised, but Man United have that effect of changing his team's oppressive form to being like dwindling. But yeah, no, in Burma, it's hard to fit him in my midfield, if I'm honest, because I wanted obviously Palmer, McNeil, and Johnson, and
also,
Salah and Rodgers.
Obviously, let's say Salah blanked today, didn't obviously got a 12-pointer for you. Would you have sold him going into Arsenal if he blanked?
No, I'll still keep the faith in Salah.
Okay. And what's the strategy with Salah in terms of long term? Or what are you thinking? Are you going to keep him until whenever you wildcard next, or are you thinking you're going to keep him for a while and sell him, or what's the plan there?
I think I'm keeping him long term, Salah, if I'm honest, because I don't have any plans to take him out anytime soon, unless I use a chip later down the line. Maybe there's consideration there, but yeah, even if he did blank against Arsenal, I'm still keeping the faith for him.
Let's pull up the fixtures for Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool, it's been discussed, Liverpool and their fixture run now turns, they've got one out the way, tough game against Chelsea, Arsenal away next. Obviously, you've kept the faith with Salah, and he's rewarded you with the 12-pointer today. Let us know, guys, if you still own Salah, because he's been massively sold ahead of this week and even game week 8. Can you pull up the fixtures, Jostro, if you just go on the I button on his near his name?
Oh yeah, of course.
I just want to see. So, okay, Arsenal's a tough one, but after that, Brighton, Villa, Southampton. If I'm you personally, obviously, I don't know what you're thinking in those games.
Yeah.
I think to be different and to break the template, you might have to captain Salah if you own him, because no one's going to have him. if he holds against Brighton at Anfield, it is back-to-back games at home, Brighton and Villa. Would you be tempted to captain him going against the Haaland crowd? If he does a 12-pointer today, something like that, which he can do.
That is the plan. If Haaland doesn't impress me the next game week, then Salah captaincy might be the way to go the next 3. Yeah. Especially if I want to break obviously, like you said, the template in the rank, because at the moment it's a big stagnant.
Salah plays Brighton at home, right? Game week 10. Just completely forgot who Haaland has in game week 10. Bournemouth. Bournemouth's a good game as well, but we saw Bournemouth yesterday played well, and then Brighton after that. But it's a away game for him, and Salah's at home. So it's interesting to see. But that could be interesting in game week 10 or 11. Yeah. You could go to Salah, because a lot of us will struggle to get him back in, I think. Like me, for example. How would I bring Salah back in? I'll have to sell Palmer and Saka probably.
Or sell Palmer and Solanke and play 2 forwards. Which I probably will be able to do, but it's whether you want to. You've got Palmer as well, haven't you, in your team? So yeah, I worked hard him in game week 4.
Yeah,
just to touch on obviously Haaland as well. I think his involvement in games does depend on whether KDB is involved in as well, because since he's been injured, the involvement has been zilch. Like literally, no one passes to him. Only player I've seen do it is KDB more than anyone. And sometimes Foden does, but I agree with Edica's comment on this. Completely.
Thoughts on Wissa, DCL replacement? I think Wissa's still out, ain't he? Is he back? I think he came on actually, didn't he?
Yeah, he is back. He played about 24 minutes.
Not for me, so I want to see him play a bit more, but I think Chris Wood still there. I actually like Delap as well at Ipswich. Can Evan Nilsson be an option? Possibly for Bournemouth. It's an interesting one. Those are the players really you're looking at. Expected Foden to start the Southampton. Pep was very frustrated with Doku. A lot will go to Son, but Foden looking even more differential. Yeah, Foden was interesting that he didn't play. I mean, looking at Foden, he's one player I did say that if he starts, he could do really well. Obviously, it was Son and Foden that I was looking at. But yeah, I mean, with Foden, you never know, because he's one of those players that will get benched and then you'll bring him in. He might get you a hat trick and then he'll be benched the next week, which is frustrating because you can't predict the roulette that Pep does. But
no, and it's how many minutes will Foden play against Southampton, depending on how the game goes. The game's like
I'd avoid Foden for now. I wouldn't go there. I was looking at him, but that spooked me a bit. Man City weren't great, so maybe it's a better thing for Foden that he will come in because they didn't look that great. But I probably would avoid him a couple of more weeks until I see him starting a bit more. But if you want to take that risk, I think it's worth it. But I think I'd go Son over Foden at the moment. Gabriel, Vardy, Porro, Son, Palmer, etc. Currently on 71 points this week, says Alexander.
That's a massive green arrow.
Yeah, let us know how the rank gain is. Where have you gone from? Yeah. What's your rank now? Let us know.
I wouldn't be surprised if you have the highest points of this game week with that now.
Yeah, I've not seen anyone really above 30, 40. Only risk with Salah is Slot isn't afraid to rotate, and it could depend on Chiesa coming back to add depth. I mean, I think Salah is one of those. I think Salah, Van Dijk are players that will not really get rotated out unless they're injured. I don't see them missing many Premier League games. I don't see them rotating in those games, if I'm being honest. Maybe they might miss the odd cup game. But in the Premier League, that's what Liverpool need to perform. Champions League, Premier League. I think Salah and Van Dijk, even Trent in those games, if they're fit, they're going to start. And even with Chiesa coming back, I think it's more the cup games when they can get rotated. I expect Salah to play every game if he's fit in the Prem, as a Liverpool fan myself. Smith Rowe, a keep. He has 3 good fixtures. Sorry, he has good fixtures, but 3 blanks in a row. What's your thoughts on Smith Rowe, Jordan?
Yeah, he's gone a bit quiet, Smith Rowe. He had a bit of a lively season at the start. But yeah, 3 blanks in a row. To be fair, though, he hasn't played as many minutes, though, because he played 25 against Man City. Played about 79 against Aston Villa, but that's expected for him. But yeah, he's only had 2 goals and 1 assist so far this season. The last return was against Newcastle and gave me 5 when he scored. But yeah, I'll still keep the faith in him. His fixtures are now easy for the next 4.
Yeah, you could still keep him.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad pick
him.
still. Decent pick still. Haaland, humbled, cursed Haaland. I think Manish is an Arsenal fan. And I'll captain Palmer v Newcastle this week. So, yeah, Newcastle, disappointing. I think they lost, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a shock. I think they had 20 shots on target or something ridiculous like that.
1-0 to Brighton.
And it ended up
away is, home loss. Newcastle, which I didn't see that one coming. I didn't think Brighton would win away. But, yeah, Palmer. What did you think of? I mean, didn't really ask you. What do you think of Parma and Chelsea as a whole today?
I mean, Chelsea were. I think they were right considering it is Liverpool Anfield. I thought they managed the game pretty well, apart from some silly mistakes here and there, especially the penalty from Tosin giving away that. But apart from the odd sins there, they did have some threat in that game, and they could have managed to draw if it went their way a bit more. But I thought they did well, Chelsea, considering who they played and where.
Sorry, I just think you've gone there, Jordan. I think you're frozen. If you can still hear me, you might want to back out and come back in. Let us know, chat, if you guys can still see him in the chat. I'll just take him out of the stream. Hold on. So you just froze there.
Yeah.
You were saying something about I can't remember what you're saying. You were something about Palmer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I think Palmer he did well, but Liverpool did well to obviously stop him from really getting much attacking threat in the goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Chelsea did overall really well considering they lost 2-1.
Yeah, I thought Chelsea they performed pretty well, I think, considering, as we said, before the match when a lot of people thought Liverpool would win, but I did think it would be a tight game. Thoughts on Havertz replacements, Jordan? Also, Alexander said he's now 163 rank overall, which is mad.
Wow.
So fair play to Alexander. Hopefully you can keep it up and make sure you do update us as your season goes. But yeah, what a start for him. Roman as well. Yeah, Havertz replacements. So strikers around the 8 million mark. Would you sell Havertz now with the fixtures coming up? Have you lost faith? If you've got him, what do you do?
Yeah, I think for the next 3 at least, I'll be selling Havertz for me. Like I said, I'd be selling 2 Arsenal players if I had 3 in my team right now. That's how much I don't see much involvement from. In terms of replacements, I would have said Welbeck, but because of his back injury, which was horrible, I don't think he's going to be available anytime soon. I mean, I would stretch to Watkins because Havertz is close to him around that. Obviously, it's a little bit more, 9.1 million. He did score the goal against Fulham as well. A bit more expensive. He's got Bournemouth at home next. But yeah, I think he's an ideal replacement in terms of one of the best ones for Havertz.
Yeah, Watkins is a shout. Jimenez is doing really well at Fulham. One to obviously a lot cheaper if you want to downgrade that money, get the money elsewhere. Elika says it's time to look at selling Trent. 7 million, too much money to be blanking. Obviously, we know Trent played. He defended well today. I thought he kept Sancho quiet, and even Neto, he dealt with him quite well in the second half. But I do think now with Trent, he's not getting as forward as like when he was under Klopp. I think now he's more geared towards that defensive side, and that is important for Slot. You see Trent's defensive work today. He was really good defensively, maybe not as influential going forward. Maybe you could sell Trent. I don't think he's someone that you have to keep right now, purely because if you want to fit a Palmer into your team and you want Palmer or you want a Saka, you want a Son, it's very hard to have Haaland, Palmer, Son in your team. You're going to have to get the money elsewhere. So Trent would be the one I'm looking to move. So yeah, again, it depends on your premiums. If you want other premiums, then yeah, you're going to have to take the money out elsewhere, and Trent could be one to look to move out, as I've done it myself, so I can afford Palmer. I'm going to move away from Watkins soon. Fixture turns, says Alexander Razorni. Obviously, he's doing very well, so maybe we'll take tips from him. Watkins, what's the fixtures like? I mean, just have a look. The Bournemouth at home, I think it's a nice game, but then they do have back-to-back away games against Spurs and Liverpool. They're also in the Champions League, so they have those fixtures in between. So it's going to be tough for Villa. It's a tough run for them. Palace, Chelsea, Brentford mixing with the Champions League games. will be difficult. So yeah, maybe we wait until we bring him in, Watkins.
Yeah, so one or the other. Yeah, it's harder because obviously Watkins is highly expensive too, so it's hard to fit him in your team at that price.
Yeah. Is there any player that's performed really well this game week that you're looking at? Anyone added to your watch list, or any player that's impressed you that you think, I'm looking at this guy, I'm scouting, I'm going to bring him in a couple of weeks? Or
Considering how the game week's gone, it's a bit hard to pick judging from this game week because there hasn't been that many good performances from
Jackson. I know we're talking about strikers. No one's really mentioned Jackson. I don't know what his ownership's like. Scored against Liverpool today. I thought it was a really good finish. What do you make of Jackson as an option if people are looking to bring him in? Fixture wise, we know Chelsea's fixtures aren't the easiest. Obviously, they've got one out of the way. Next 3: Newcastle, Man U, Arsenal. So it's not easy for them. But if you're a Chelsea fan right now, you watched how they performed against Liverpool, you'd be expecting Newcastle and Man United. We can win these games. So Arsenal's going to be tough. Newcastle have just lost to Brighton. Man United, we know, have been struggling. Jackson and the differential punt. I don't know what his ownership is. Let's have a look.
Just under 17.
17. Okay, so he's a lot higher owned than I thought. But scored today was against Liverpool. He's got 5 goals now for the season. Maybe going under the radar. 3 assists. 7.9 million. I think if you want to sell Havertz, I think I'll be going Jackson. Even with these fixtures, I don't mind it, but personally.
Yeah, not a bad shout. Forward Jackson, he's found a lot of confidence and he's found his shooting boots this season so far. I mean, cheaper alternatives other than Jackson that have better fixtures, like mentioned Raul Jimenez. He's had so many returns that it's surprising he's only 7.4% owned, and he's had a return in the last 5. He scored 4 goals out of obviously the next 5 game weeks, like one against West Ham, then Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, even got an assist against Man City, and just scored against Aston Villa.
4 goals, scored against quite a few teams there.
Yeah, and at 5.7 million, ideal, maybe third forward, second forward in your team.
Yep. Cunha is another one. I think don't sleep on Cunha. I know Wolves. He's got 3 goals already this season, and he's played some tough games. He scored against Chelsea. He scored against Villa away as well, and he scored against Brentford. And now the fixture turned for him. He's 6.5. He's one that I think definitely, guys, have him on your radar as one to watch, because I think he can get you. He's only 2.6%. If Solanke doesn't impress me in the next game or so, I could drop him to Cunha, and that will allow me to have a lot more money in the team as well. So let's say I do Solanke for a Cunha. If Cunha's got the fixtures, that gives me 1.2. I don't know if I can bring Salah in, but probably not. But you know what I mean? I can take that money elsewhere.
Yeah, and I like his teammate well up front, Strand Larson, who scored against Man City today.
Yeah, Strand Larson.
I think he's a really good player as well. 5.5, even more differential at 1%.
So and Cunha's on pens.
Oh, and Cunha pens, But
Cunha, actually, I like Cunha as a move. Raul Jimenez is there. Solanke's still a decent pick, but I just think if I was to pick now and I was on a wild card, let's say, I think I would go Cunha over Solanke, just because Son does take up chances from Solanke, and he's more of the guy that gets the big chances, I feel. Obviously, penalties wise, Raul Jimenez didn't take the pen, did he? It was I think Pereira took and he missed. Yeah,
that was surprising. Because someone in the chat mentioned that in Deadline stream who takes penalties, and someone did say it was Raul Jimenez. But it's surprising to see Andreas take the penalty. I thought Jimenez would.
Manish says, is Delap a good option? I think he's a decent option. Maybe as like a third forward instead of a DCL or instead of a Wood. I don't mind Delap at the differential. So at the third forward, I think, and an 8th attacker, I think that's fine. My struggle is the defense. Regret moving away from Trent. I mean, Trent did blank today. He's not really had. I don't think he's not scored yet, has he, this season, Trent?
No.
He's not. He's got. I think how many assists have you got this season? So in terms of he's only had 1 assist in 8 games, no goals. But if you've watched Trent, he's been very, very good for Liverpool this season. For me, it's one of his best seasons in terms of a start to the season he's had. I think defensively, he's been really good. I think he's been a bit unlucky. Should have had at least a goal, maybe another assist. But I thought he was good. In terms of today, though, obviously he barely got forward. Didn't think he really got down the byline or anything to get a cross in. But it was a tough game today. So when the fixtures turn again, we'll see more of Trent. But I think maybe have got it slightly wrong on Trent. Maybe he's not going to get as many attacking returns going forward, but he might get you more assists. More clean sheets, I should say, this season, because Liverpool do look a lot stronger defensively. Obviously, Liverpool conceded today, but it is only the third goal they've conceded all season in the league anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he has been a bit unlucky in terms of returns, as Alexander mentioned. Jota missing a couple of big chances from, I think it was in the Ipswich game when Trent sort of put it on the plate for him. Dan also said about DCL, obviously.
Yeah.
Missing a sitter, really. Frustrating as an owner.
I mean, he's getting the chances. He's like, it was similar to Darwin Núñez 2 seasons ago, where he was getting a lot of chances, high XG, but not equalising on it by scoring. Sort of similar, same with Calvert-Lewin at the moment. Yeah,
I think if you've got Calvert-Lewin, keep the faith, another game for sure. I wouldn't sell him now, but he's one to watch. But I would still keep the faith with him. But I think we're going to wrap it up here, Jordan. I think we've done about 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's tried considering how the game week's gone in terms of points.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the chat. If you've enjoyed the content, hit that like button, please. It really helps support the channel. If you haven't already as well, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. It always helps grow the channel as well. So hit the like button, subscribe as well, and share the video as well if you can, please. As always, thank you for watching on the Sunday evening. We're back again on Tuesday for transfers and fixture video. And yeah, just tune in and we're back to our content. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan?
Yeah, take care, guys. Obviously, good luck if you have players for tomorrow's game. Crystal Palace and Forest. But until then, we'll see you Tuesday for Transfer Tips video. Until then, take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.